How's it going, YouTube? Devin the Day Trade Warrior here, bringing you guys my first ever video. If you guys want more information about the channel, you can look into the description in the channel section under the About tab. But anyways, guys, it is a crazy day in the market today. Surprisingly, seeing as we are just coming off of Christmas and everybody's on vacation with school and all. So I'm surprised that we're seeing as much activity as we are in the day. The biggest two winners of the day are GALE and DRAM. I will be going over both of these plays as well as where I was looking to enter. I did not take any positions on these trades whatsoever, seeing as my account size is only $1,000. So when I'm about to take a trade, I look in my best interest to see if these stocks can rip a significant amount in order to make me more than like 20 to 40 bucks on a trade. So I just didn't feel like these stocks could do it, and I definitely overestimated it, seeing as this stock ran up to like 360. And this stock almost touched $3 at one point, or I think it did hit $3. So it's pretty unfortunate that I did miss out on these trades, but I am coming off of 2 losses in a row. So I'm trying to keep it calm and just waiting for that right opportunity and the play that I know I'm going to bank off of. So anyway, switching it back to investing.com here. We're going to be reviewing GALE first. Now, GALE had a significant move. I mean, this thing was gapping up pre-market really nicely, and I wish this website had the pre-market, but for some reason it doesn't, and it doesn't allow you to enable it at all. But in pre-market, it gapped up significantly on news up to 260. I'm not too sure what the news was. Let me try to find it real quick. So it was a drug. Something happened with their drug that I'm not really too sure about that, but I know it was a good drug news for them. So this stock ended up gapping up in the pre-market, and this is like a perfect gap and go strategy. I wish this really had pre-market here because this was just such a beautiful play. So it gapped up to 260. The high was 260. It pulled back a little bit, and then it double topped at 260 pre-market. So looking at that, that was really nice for me because it flat topped a little bit and then it pulled back down to 240. And another thing I don't like about this either is that seeing as this isn't pre-market, the moving averages don't really follow the pre-market trend. So it just kind of goes from the close to the open. But the 13-day exponential moving average was at that 240 mark. So this was looking very nice right off the start. My only concern about this stock was that it was already up a significant amount. It was up 26% at one point during pre-market. So that is already a significant gap up. And as of recently, these big movers pre-market have huge selling pressure during the first couple of minutes of the market, and that normally makes them sell off back down to where they closed the previous day. So that was a little concern for me because I like seeing these stocks gapping up like 4 to 5% that sneak under everybody's radar and have really good news because they just have the chance to run. If a move happens pre-market, then I don't know, it just kind of feels like a lot of short sellers already have it on watch. But I mean, so this thing gapped up, got up to 260, pulled back, 260 again, pulled back again, and then it opened really, really nice at that 240 mark right off of that 13 EMA. Like I said, I wish the pre-market was on. So it pulled back to the 13 EMA. It got up to that 260 mark again. So this was a perfect gap and go strategy. And what a gap and go strategy is a stock that gaps up, it has really, really strong news on it, and then it breaks the pre-market highs. So this was a perfect trade, the first 1 minute candle to make a new high over the pre-market highs. Like I said, this whole chart is based off of pre-market, so I'm pretty upset that they don't have the pre-market here. So it would have been the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So that would have probably been the first entry. If you still didn't enter on it, that's fine because it got up to 260. Now, if you're an experienced trader or if you're still learning, this is a very key indicator to watch out for, is that stocks that are breaking above the pre-market high. That means that there's people watching it, there's volume, and that there's momentum towards it. So this, as you can see, no hesitation, just blasted through 260. It ran up to 280, pulled back a little bit, and then this thing just absolutely took off. And I really wish I got a piece of this because this would have been a huge trade. I would have probably stopped out with like a $200 profit on this, but like I said, I didn't think it had the potential. And if I don't think it has a potential, there's no point in really chasing it once it starts to move. And the reason why I don't like chasing stocks once I've spotted them and they move 20 cents and I didn't take a position on it is because I look at it like this. So say you're at a stop sign and you see a car coming down the street. But you think you have enough time to go, but you don't go. The longer you wait at that stop sign, the closer that car is going to get. So say that you wait like maybe 5 seconds at that stop sign and then you finally decide to go, it might be too late and you might get into a car accident. So that's a really good mindset to have, because if I chase this stock, I probably would have entered at like maybe 335, a break above this, and I would have ended up getting stopped out at like 320. So really good for me. I mean, if you wanted to, you could have probably scalped it over this tiny little bull flag here. It's nothing too crazy on the 1 minute. I'm not sure how many traders would have actually jumped into that. And then it broke above that high for like 1 second and ran up to 344 before falling back down. So if you had a big enough size, you could have probably scalped like 100, 200 bucks on it. And then it ran up to the high of the day of 358 by what it seems from right here. And that 358 mark, I mean, if you're an experienced trader, you definitely saw this coming, because as you look back a while, that 360 mark has been a lot of congestion for this. It's been kind of sideways. So obviously you see a lot of candles bottoming out, and as you guys know, old support acts as new resistance once you fall below that. So it came up attached that level, and then what do you expect? It fell back down. So there's no reason why you should have been buying up here unless if it broke through that 357 level. And even if it did, I probably wouldn't end up chasing it just because it did seem like it was such a risky play. But anyways, that was the trade on GALE. I mean, it kind of bottomed out a little bit. It's just kind of going sideways now. No really good volume towards it, which is crazy because it ran from 248 up to 360, and now it's almost back down to where it started on the market open. So the second stock of the day was DRAM. Now, there was no news to back this up, so this was a pure speculative play, and I really don't feel like chasing stocks that don't have big news on it, strictly because of the fact that it just normally doesn't have good follow-through. You don't know what's going on with it, but this one worked out really well. So as you can see, we opened up, nothing really good, it got a little bit of a volume squeeze here and there, and I was watching it at 210. Now, I don't know why, but with me and stocks on the top percent gainers here, if I go back, I always notice a stock that makes moves. And I'm not like disappointed that I missed the trade. The thing that I'm proud of is that I caught this move. So I was watching it here at 210, and the volume was coming in really, really nicely. I mean, this thing was at like 700,000 shares traded by around like 950. So that's really great for a company that didn't have news. And the thing that looked the best to me is that not only was it riding this 13 EMA really smoothly, is that the shares weren't selling off. 700,000 shares trading through, and the shares were not selling off. In fact, what they were doing, they weren't even going up either. So looking at that, I thought this looked very, very nice, seeing as it wasn't moving, the volume was coming in, it was just kind of going sideways for a bit. As you see, we flagged here. We got that pop above the bull flag. So if you guys don't know what a bull flag is, you normally want to buy the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, or the first 5 minute, or whatever kind of strategy you trade. So the first 1 minute candle to make a new high would have been right there, around that 211 mark. It bumped up all the way to 220, and then it hit that resistance mark of 220. It kind of went sideways for a bit, pulling back, waiting for more traders to jump in it. And then once it broke that 220 mark, I mean, this thing absolutely exploded. And my favorite thing about these kind of chart setups is that look at this gap. This wasn't even halted. There was so many shares going through that this completely just skipped basically 5 cents of trading cents. So I mean, this was a very, very good play, even though, like I said, there was no news on it at all. And these non-news plays kind of scare me a little bit, because you just never know if the move is significant enough for it to hold and actually continue making new highs, or if it's just going to pop and drop real quick. And that's my biggest fear about trading these kind of stocks. As you can see, same thing with GALE, it popped up, and this one actually kind of held its gains. It's bottoming around here, around that 230 mark. But I definitely wouldn't be chasing this stock now. As I said, there's no really news on it, and it's under all of my 4 favorite moving averages. So it'd be interesting to see what this thing does tomorrow. Seeing as there's no news, I don't really see it being able to break up above that 280 mark. But the thing that does look the most appealing to me is that look at this chart. I mean, this chart is absolutely incredible. It's got a nice trend line going up here. Look at that trend line. Absolutely incredible. So it's been uptrending for quite a while now. And if you've got in this in the low 80 cents, then I mean, you just banked absolutely huge. But I mean, that uptrend, basically, this is an ascending triangle all the way. This is definitely an ascending triangle play. I mean, if you guys don't know what an ascending triangle is, it's basically like a 1 day time period of each candlestick representing 1 day. It's got a nice uptrend to it, up to that resistance mark of about 170. It breaks 170, it rips above 170, and then it had continuation on this day. So this stock normally, just by looking at past chart history, doesn't seem to run more than one day at a time. So this second move looked completely forced. I definitely don't think you should be holding this play overnight, as I think it was just going to drop. But anyways, that are the two trades for the day. Even though I didn't trade them, I'm really just the two biggest movers of the day and the most momentum towards them as traders were coming off of the Christmas break. Anyways, if you guys did find this video informative by any means, go hit that subscribe button. It will help me out a lot. And make sure to share it to all your friends that are still new to trading. And make sure to leave a comment, like the video, and I will see you guys on my next video. Peace out.